Mr. Beast, KSI, and Logan Paul came out with a new lunch product competing against Lunchables. It's called Lunchly, and there's been a huge uproar on social media about it because the ingredients are crap. And you can clearly see, and you could see it a mile away, but you could clearly see that they were just selling another crap product to their audience, who are a bunch of young kids. Quick grift, easy way to make money. I mean, it's not easy in the sense that obviously running a business and operating that stuff, all the inventory and everything, that is going to take a lot of time, a lot of effort. But the reason why I wanted to talk about this is because this is a business podcast, or this is a business YouTube channel for entrepreneurs and business owners and people who are aspiring to get into that. But specifically, it is for business owners and people who want to get into business primarily because they want to make the world a better place. And so my thesis is that the more everyday people have ownership over the production systems and the way that we consume as a people, the better it'll be. I believe big corporations and big business makes the world a worse place. And I don't even think that they should be that big, meaning that I don't think that they are actually that competitive. I think their biggest competitive advantage is just having a bunch of resources that they use to lobby with the government and to essentially build these economic moats of power with other businesses and everything. It's not because they are the best at their work. In fact, I would argue that most businesses suck. And if you were to take away politics and all the stuff of alliances with other people, and you were to just put a small business and a big business head to head on a project, I believe the smaller businesses would win because most small entrepreneurs, they're nimble, they're driven, and they work really fast. Big businesses are full of a bunch of people that were just looking for a stable job because they're lazy. So you're competing against all these people who are like, okay, I want to go work at this big company because it has a good pension and I can text and go on Twitter while I'm working and I can take a lot of breaks. Whereas the small entrepreneur and the people that work with the entrepreneur, they have a lot to lose. They're not doing they need to work fast. They need to prove that they could do something good and provide value really quickly. So they're going to do a better job. That's what I believe. Now, what I think about this product is the reason why I wanted to talk about this is because I think that we should have some restrictions on who can market to children. I believe children are the most impressionable demographic that we have. They're easily convinced and they are really easy to exploit. Obviously, they're young. They don't know anything about this place. And we're living in a time where parents are the most busy. You need two people to work jobs to be able to live a good life. So they don't have time to, well, and this is something that, that's a whole nother issue. But either way, the point is that I don't believe some random person should be able to get up and say, you know what, I'm going to start doing stuff. And that stuff I'm going to do is going to target children. Because let's be honest, when you're an adult, everything is a business. Everything that you're doing as an adult is to make money. Now, hopefully, you're a good adult and you think, I want to commit to providing value to this world. I want to have responsibilities. I want to provide for other people and take care of other people. And so when you become an adult, you say, okay, this is what I want to do, and this is the avenue that I'm going to take to provide value to this world and make it to be productive. Now, out of all the people that you can provide value to, I feel like the easiest one is to say, well, you know what? Let me target children because they're easy to convince. Now, a lot of people say haters are people that will criticize. So there are people that'll call people haters because they criticize, and there are haters. A hater is somebody who's just gonna find any reason to talk down to you, to think less of you, and for no reason at all. And they're just gonna do that no matter what. And then there are people that I like. This is where we get ourselves in a situation where we say, if you validly criticize somebody, you're a hater. And I've said this in other videos that one of the measures of success, especially on social media and just in general, is that they're going to be people that are jealous of you and that are haters. And most people who get to a certain age know that. And excuse me. And so you know that people are just going to hate for no reason. But then there are people who are just in their own delusional world where when they do something stupid, horrible, horrendous, they'll just say, oh, those are haters, whatever. And you just use that to deflect the truth. Like, oh, haters they just hate because I'm so successful and amazing. It's like, no, there are people out there that aren't haters that are giving you a valid criticism. And I think a lot of so you'll hear people like Alex Hormozy say that you'll never see somebody who's more successful than you hating on you. And that's not true all the time. Now, I believe that a lot of people that are highly successful in social media or in business, maybe they're afraid to criticize somebody like Mr. Beast because they don't want to ruin the opportunity of collaborating with him. And so when people get to a certain level of notoriety and success, the people that are successful above you or along with you, it's probably because they don't want to ruin the opportunity of benefiting from working with you. So is that strictly because there's nothing to criticize? No. In fact, I would argue that people who are ahead of you, they should criticize you if they're the ones who have the biggest impact in terms of scrutiny, in terms of criticizing somebody. So they should criticize these up-and-comers if they're doing something wrong. But nonetheless, the point of this video is that I am criticizing Mr. Beast and criticizing Logan Paul and KSI. Mr. Beast has been a person that's had a really good reputation, and he's never been the target of controversy, and that's been changing this year in 2024. And a lot of people have been jumping on the bandwagon of just hating on Mr. Beast because it was easy views and everything, and that's annoying. But there's nothing you could do about that. So, but either way, the reason why I'm criticizing Mr. Beast and the other two guys is because these are people who target children specifically. And I, as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, I don't think that, like, you may look at me and you'll say, well, you only have 33 subscribers, Roman. Who are you to criticize? These guys are all successful. You're just a hater. You're so jealous. And it's like, no, I don't think that I don't think it's that hard to get attention from children. It seems it's the easiest demographic to get attention from. Look at CoComelon. CoComelon is just a bunch of the trash gobbledygook with just random stupid stuff to keep the children in a state of like a hypnotic state. And so, first of all, out of all the businesses to start, the easiest people to sell to, this is what I think. This is my opinion. The easiest people to sell to are the children, and then the women, and then after the women, you got the men. So, like, there's more to that. That was just a high level view, a high level opinion of mine. So either way, first of all, I think that it's kind of creepy that an adult would, and I know Mr. Beast and these people, they started their channels when they were younger, so they kind of just, naturally went into it. But either way, it's not some supreme accomplishment to capture the attention of children. Now, when Mr. Beast goes and gives advice on YouTube channels, he tells people, watch these YouTube advice channels by Mr. Beast where he gets interviewed and everything, and he'll say, there's a formula, you got to do it like this is how I know you're going to succeed or not, and everything. And it's like, dude, yes, the formula is pretty freaking obvious. Now, there are people who only have 1,000 subscribers, and they were making a buttload more money than Mr. Beast was at the very beginning. Now he's obviously making a lot more money. And there's, looking into the business insights of that, there is this idea that the more, like, you give a lot of things for free for a long time until you get a critical mass, and then you hit this point of critical mass where you have so many people watching you that it's almost impossible to make big money. And that's essentially what happened. You play the long game. And you, if you're watching this, you could play the long game too. You could literally do what Mr. Beast does. It's the easiest thing. There's a formula that you just got to create an idea or brainstorm some ideas that are just really interesting, that are just ridiculous, like blowing up 5 computers. Save some money, save a budget to go buy a bunch of computers, and say, like, you stack up some money, get a budget, wait until Apple drops a new product line, a new MacBook, a new whatever, and then find somebody that you could pay out in the boonies, in the places where there's a lot of land. Find somebody, say, hey, I want to blow some stuff up on your yard, in your land, so you can film the entire process. Okay, I bought 5 iPhone 25s and I blew up 5 iPhone 25s, and then your thumbnail is going to be a bunch of iPhones in like this rural area with a big explosion, and you're just like, in your face, your thumbnail is just big explosion and iPhones and everything. And like, obviously that's a clickable thumbnail. And so you're going to get a lot of young people, because what older people are doing, people that are in their 20s, a lot of the 20-year-olds, they're thinking, okay, I need to make money. So they're watching these people like Charlie Morgan and Daniel Fazio, these people in the agency space. They're watching Iman Ghatzi and stuff, and they're like, I need to learn how to make money. And then you have people that are in their 30s that might be situated in their careers, or they're already succeeding in business, and they're watching people like Alex Hormozy, Cody Sanchez, or they're watching these other people that are in the business space. Now, the younger people that are under 20, and some people in 20, obviously this is not strict, it varies, but this is just in general, on the average. People younger than 20, they're watching stuff like Mr. Beast and all these other people like Logan Paul, the Nelk Boys and everything. And so you really just need to do something that just seems wild, and that will work for that demographic. And so then now you go, you record the entire thing, you make the story. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. This is how we're going to blow up the iPhones and stuff. So you go and buy the iPhones first. Then you record you finding these people who will let you use their house to blow some stuff. Then you find ways to make explosions or get explosions. You go through the laws and the permits. You record the entire thing. And then at the very end, the hook that got people on the video, the ending, the satisfying ending, which is showing people the explosion. That's how you end the video. Boom, boom, explosion at the very end and stuff. And then you're at the end, you're like, whoa, everybody's like, this is crazy and stuff. And then the kids and the people watching are like, whoa, that was crazy, or that was lackluster, or whatever it is. And then you end the video really quickly, because after that, you don't got their attention anymore. And then you also just need to make quick cuts like every 5 or 7 seconds. I forget what it was. And being very liberal with your text and sounds and stuff, little graphics and everything. And so that's the formula, and that's pretty freaking easy. Like, the hard part is doing it every day, or once a week, doing it consistently, because it costs money. It takes time to come up with ideas. You have to film. It's a lot of work. Yes. But there are other things that are a lot of work, where when you get the attention of 30-year-olds, if your target demographic are 30-year-old business owners, specifically agency owners, and you create a YouTube channel, you create content, and you create a product or service, you actually have to provide a good product. You actually have to provide a good service, because these people aren't stupid. They are adults. Yes, there are a lot of dumb adults, but in general, you're not going to start a business by scamming a bunch of adults. You can, but it's not going to last long. So when you start a business, you have to make a good product. You have to make a good service. And adults, for the most part, especially business owners, they're not going to buy your product unless they think it's going to enrich their lives in some way. It's going to help them make more money. It's going to help them become better, whatever, some sort of growth and development. Kids don't have that discernment. Kids, they're just like, oh, that's cool. Yeah. Or that tastes good. And it's hurting them. They don't know. They haven't been alive long enough to understand that there's a bunch of people out there that will sell you something that makes your life worse. And that's a problem. And so just imagine, is it easier to sell to somebody that has discernment and knows that they need to buy something that's going to make their lives better? Or is it easier to sell to somebody that all they need is to be tricked that it's kind of cool? And so that's the thing. All I'm saying is that it's easier to sell to children. If you're a business owner, the easiest demographic to target are children. And I don't respect people as much who build a big business off of children, especially if they're hurting them. And so the point of this video is that Logan Paul, KSI, and Mr. Beast, they need to go look in the mirror and realize that, look, dude, like you guys are just taking advantage of these children. Mr. Beast did not make these videos to help these kids. He made these videos to just hack their attention. That's it. It was all about him. And I think that we as a society, we should have a problem with that. We should have a problem with people who are trying to take something from our children. Children should be a class that is just sectioned off, protected from the government, from everybody. We should be protecting our children and say, we understand that children are impressionable. They're easily convinced to buy stuff, and they'll get their parents to buy it and everything. And so this is bad parenting. Yes, there's so many fronts that we have to hit. We have to hit the fronts of like saying, okay, parents, you guys got to start taking an active role in what you guys are buying for your kids and everything, all this stuff. And then that's another problem. But still, we should also not allow people to do what these content creators are doing to our children. So Mr. Beast, they make content to get the children's attention. Then they get all these children hooked on their content, which has no value at all whatsoever. I would argue watching these videos just makes you dumb, especially like it's like Cocomelon. Mr. Beast is the Cocomelon of content creators on YouTube. And so this content is not helping our children at all. It's just hacking their attention, keeping them locked on the screen. And then when they can, it's like you're like what Gary Vee says, they're jabbing, or they're providing content, and then bam, they just come like, let me jab you with all this content, get you hooked, and then boom, shitty product, product that's going to hurt you, product that's going to also take advantage of your brain chemistry, and then just get you hooked on that sugar prime, and that's all it is. It's like, let me hack your attention that doesn't benefit you, and then let me hit you with a crap product that also doesn't benefit you. I would argue there's not one good thing Mr. Beast, Logan Paul, KSR are doing for the children. Look, if you're going to provide a shitty product, be a man and try to provide it to adults. I have no qualm with adults buying shitty products, because if you're an adult and you buy bad products, bad services, that's on you. You're an idiot. But if you're a child, I don't... that hurts my heart, honestly. And so I think that what they're doing with Lunchly is ridiculous. It's another bad product that's just out there to siphon money from children's parents. And I think that it needs to stop. And we need to, as a society, say that certain products not just anybody. If you are going to market to children, you have to be vetted, and the product has to be vetted. All right, well, my name is Roman Kenrick. That was my rant for today about Lunchly and stuff. If you stayed till the end, I appreciate it. Welcome to the club, I guess. I don't know. I don't want to say subscribe because everybody says subscribe. Do whatever the hell you want.